Warm greetings, Code Monkeys and fellow VEDSies, and welcome back to CodedLockFilms. We're going to be answering another question here. Yes, I'm filming a whole bunch of these at once, just because this is a good day for me to be filming, and I've still got some decent light, so I'm trying to get some more of these ready to go and in the can. This question comes from Lucas Green, who asks, when it comes to Spider-Man, who do you prefer as his arch-nemesis, Green Goblin or Venom? When it comes to Spidey villains, these are two of the big ones who have discovered Spidey's true identity, but which one do you prefer? Please let me know. I'd love to hear your answer and explanation. So both of these characters as Spider-Man's arch-nemesis, I actually don't prefer them that much as Spider-Man's arch-nemesis, because to me, Spider-Man's arch-nemesis is himself and his guilt complex. Spider-Man to me is always at his most interesting when he is very internally focused and dealing with his own feelings and his own problems and his own guilt and his struggles. And really, his villains are just kind of there to provide situations in which Spider-Man can go through those kinds of things. So to me, the villain in Spider-Man movies almost doesn't matter. They can certainly help enhance a good Spider-Man story, and in the best Spider-Man stories, the villain in some way relates to Peter's own internal struggle. Like, for example, in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, Dr. Octopus is very much a reflection of Peter Parker in a lot of ways, and really a lot more interesting than I think he ever was in the comics. In the beginning, Peter sees Otto Octavius as a representation of the kind of life that he would really like to have. You know, he's got a loving and supportive wife and just family life. He's generally got his shit together. He is successful in the scientific field, and those are things that Peter Parker envies and really ultimately wants for himself. And then Otto Octavius becomes, you know, a victim of really some pretty bad circumstances and just isn't able to handle it very well for a lot of different reasons, and that is in that movie a good reflection of Peter and how he is trying to handle the bad situations that he is thrust into just as a result of the partially the choices he's made, but partially just the, you know, the good old Parker luck. But when it comes to Green Goblin versus Venom, really I'd say Green Goblin on the whole. Not because I particularly love the Green Goblin. I'm on the whole somewhat indifferent to the Green Goblin, but really because I just don't like Venom very much, or rather, I don't like what a lot of people do with Venom. I mean, on the surface, he's basically just a literalization of the whole, you know, darker version of the hero thing. And I find that there's just not very much to him, the way that most writers use him. I think that you could do something interesting with Venom. It would really require a lot of reworking, and actually, you know, the trailers for the Venom movie that's going to be coming out. I have no idea whether that's going to end up being a good movie or not. It looks like it might be kind of bad, but I am interested in seeing it, funny enough, because it seems like it is going to be focused basically on Eddie Brock as a character and kind of the internal stuff that goes on between him and the Venom symbiote. And that, to me, is always where I thought Venom could be made a lot more interesting, is if you did something unique with that dynamic. And it seems like that's what they are trying to go for with that movie. And, you know, like that I think that's the right way to go. Obviously, it's all going to be in the execution. That's the garage door Maddie's about to walk in. But so I might have to cut this a little bit short here. But yeah, to me, if you wanted to make Venom more interesting, you would focus on the relationship between Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote, and you would kind of double down on all of that stuff and find a way to make that make Eddie Brock a very sympathetic character who we can care about, and then his struggle to deal with the Venom symbiote is where you kind of could come up with something interesting there. And it seems like that's what they're trying to do with that movie. I hope they pull it off. I think it's a 50-50 at this point whether or not they will. But more often I find that Venom is just very sort of darkness for darkness sake, edgelord kind of stuff. And to me, that's just not interesting, and I don't really care. I don't care for it. Venom does not interest me. So between Green Goblin and Venom, I would go with Green Goblin. But like I said, with any character, it's all about execution, and I just think that Green Goblin overall has been better executed more consistently over the years than Venom has, and. Yeah, that's about where I'd go with that. But like I said, I think that really Peter Parker's greatest nemesis is himself. And I think that is generally the best way to go about Spider-Man. So thank you, Lucas, for your question, and more to come. So until then, Code Monkeys and fellow VEDSies, I will see you tomorrow.